So what's going on, guys? Back here with another video for you. So with the recent announcement of Phantom Dust, the original being remastered, well, not really, it wasn't really remastered, it was upscaled to 1080p for the Xbox One and the PC, for free actually, so it's really awesome. I don't know how long that's going to be for free or if it's free forever, but if you have an Xbox One or a PC, go ahead and download that. I don't know if you need to have gold or if you could just get it with silver. I'm not sure, but Phantom Dust is a cult classic, original Xbox exclusive. Really awesome game. I'm actually downloading it as we speak, and it's Tuesday, so again, I don't know how long it's going to stay free. I haven't heard any pricing on it, so I'm thinking it could just be free forever. I'm thinking it's kind of a feeler for the market to see if people want more original Xbox games brought back. I've been saying this for years that I want them. Here's a list of a bunch of them, and it's not really a list. I'm just going to show them because I'm going for the full set. I know what I'm talking about here. I've been collecting for the original Xbox since it was still current. I've got over 200 games for it. Basically all of them are exclusive. I'm about 18 away from having every exclusive that was ever on the original Xbox. So here's a good list of some that I think should either be remastered or have a sequel in the future, or remastered and have a sequel, or something along those lines. So Phantom Dust, they already accomplished that. Another one that they actually recently accomplished that I didn't buy because it's not physical and it's 20 bucks is Voodoo Vince. I still have the original. I have a Framemeister, so I could pretty much do what they did in my house already with what I have. So good game though, so if you don't have that, you don't have an original Xbox, go ahead and pick that up for 20 bucks. It's on PC and the Xbox, so if you buy it, it's, you know, for both of them. So let's start this out with something that I'm reaching for and I'm dreaming that is never going to happen, but it would be cool if Xbox created a partnership with Capcom again. And I really am reaching for this one, but I want it to happen, and that is another Steel Battalion. I think the market is set up where they can charge a lot for a huge peripheral and people will actually buy it now. You see stupid collector's editions for multiple hundreds of dollars now, like Mortal Kombat. It came with like a scorpion arm and it was like $200. Get the fuck out of here. I would pay $300 or $400, maybe even $500 for a new Steel Battalion with current generation online capabilities, voice chat, you know, having a keyboard next to you so you can type too, and just all sorts of stuff that they could really, even if they just remastered it and brought it to the Xbox One, wouldn't cost them really much of anything except for remanufacturing the peripheral. Still a little sick, guys, sorry. And so this is definitely one that I would love to see. One of my favorite games for the original Xbox, and that is MechAssault 1 and 2. Really good games. There was a third one in the works for the 360. It got canned. Who is the developer of this? Day One Studios? Yeah. And Fossa Studios. I've heard of Day One. Obviously, I remember seeing the logo in this all the time. These are fantastic. I don't know why they gave up on this series. I think this really does have a place in the market. They're basically mech arena-based fighting games. Well, shooting games. But really awesome games nonetheless. I would love to see this. This is probably top 5 original Xbox games for me, is that series. Some of these actually fall into a separate category, but we'll get to that. Alright, oh, that falls into that same category. Now, they own Rare, so what are they doing sitting on these IPs? What are you doing, Microsoft? You've got Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That's literally only ever been on the Xbox. You remastered it, but make a sequel. And Conquer. What are you doing with that? Like, people know this character probably not as much as Sonic and Mario, but like, he's been around since, well, the early 2000s. Why have you done nothing with him except for put him into, what was that damn game called? Totally drawing a blank on it. The the stupid creator thing that Microsoft made that nobody bought, and then they canceled it and shut it down immediately, like within a year. I actually own a copy of it, still sealed. I never opened it because there's no point. I'm sure I'll remember, and I'll put it in here in the description. Alright, so I'm sitting here editing the video. I recalled what that title of that game was, and it's Project Spark. Still sealed. Never opened it because they killed it pretty much the week I bought it. So then there was no point in opening it. But this was at least when Microsoft was trying to make exclusives. I actually did play this on PC a little bit, but it was a cool idea, but just didn't really work out for them. But here's another Capcom game. The final one in the trilogy, Dino Crisis 3, was exclusive to the original Xbox. Dino Crisis 4, where you at? Capcom, bring it in. Another one of my top 5 for the original Xbox, another series that never saw the light of day after the original Xbox, that actually, to my knowledge, sold pretty well, so I don't know why they didn't, and that's Bloodwake. Fantastic game, still really fun to play with your friends nowadays, and it still looks really good to this day. The water graphics when this came out were touted as like the best water graphics, like that was their thing. But this is basically Twisted Metal on the water. Really good. Like, I remember playing this all the time with my cousin when we were kids. He had the Xbox, I had the GameCube. I always wanted the Xbox because of games like this. It was just badass. Here's another one. This was something I got really early on. This is still my original copy. I think it is. No, I guess it's not. Whatever. This is one of the early on games that like really just sold me on the Xbox brand back in the day when I was a kid. And that's Crimson Skies. This is such an amazing game. Oh, there's Fossa Studios again. So that must have been an first party Microsoft studio. I don't think they exist anymore. Could be wrong. Again, why was there never a sequel to this? I know this sold well. I know it did. At a point in time, MechAssault and this were packaged with the Xbox Live headset gold card combo thing. So like, actually that's where I got this from. So this is my original copy because it's not for resale. So yeah, these sold well. I know they did. I would love a sequel to it. Here's a very late title for the original Xbox that's actually a little pricey, kind of worth some money. Nothing serious, but that's Stubbs the Zombie. This is a fantastic game. When I got Nico into collecting the original Xbox, that's one of my cousins. He goes game hunting with me, in case you're a newer person watching. Look back in the history to find him. There's 4 or 5 episodes with him in it. This was one that he just really gravitated towards, and he loved it. He beat it in like, I think he beat it in like one sitting because he was just that hooked to it. It's not a long game, but it's really fun. It's actually made with the Halo engine. It's a beautiful game too because it supports, since it was such a late game in the original Xbox, it supports the 480p right out of the get-go. This with the FrameMeister, whew, looks amazing. Funny story, great game, just great. Another really awesome game for the Xbox is Quantum Redshift. Really good futuristic racing kind of hover car type scenario. I'm not that good at this game. I do like it, but I'm really terrible at it, to be honest. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't like to see a sequel to it. Beautiful game. Still, these graphics are still really good to this day. And it was funny, when I actually was making this video, I popped in some of these games to play them again. It's cool and a nice blast from the past when you could put a game in and it's got like demos on the disc of stuff that like isn't in your collection, and you can try it and see if you want to actually buy it. It's things like that that I miss about the old generations of gaming. I guess that was really only the 6th generation that did that, but well, I guess PS1 they gave you demo discs. They weren't like built into the game, but same basic principle. And then again, another one of my top 5 original Xbox games is Brute Force. This is really underrated, hidden gem, I'm going to say that term. Not a lot of people talk about this. This is a great co-op game. The amount of times that I've played this in co-op, it's up to 4 people. I've only ever really done it 2, maybe 3. It's just an awesome game. It's kind of like a third-person Halo. And that's kind of what they were going for, and it's made by Microsoft, so makes sense. Just a fantastic game. Like, this is cheap. I don't think this will ever come to the Xbox One or a sequel for that matter, but it would be awesome if it did. Now this next stack is actually kind of a part 2 to this video, but it's really the same video. These are all Sega titles that were all exclusive to the original Xbox. Sega's also kind of making a comeback right now with Vanquish coming to PC, Bayonetta coming to PC. They're bringing out 2 Sonics this year. I think they're trying finally. I think they are. I think Nintendo's trying too. Now I just need Microsoft to try. Get some of your exclusives back, man. I would love to see Xbox be the way they were at one point in time. The king of the hardware with the best exclusives. Well, I mean, they were good exclusives. They're all good exclusives. They all make good exclusives. But I don't know. I'm just a true gamer. I just love all the exclusives, and I just love different systems and all the experiences you get from all of them. But original Xbox, like, that was a lot of my childhood. So, like, my closest cousin at the time had one. I had one. So constantly on the live, talking, playing Halo 2, playing Black Arrow, Rainbow Six, playing, you know, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, just playing all sorts of different games online. And just loving life when you were a kid, didn't have to worry about anything, playing Xbox Live. Like, those are some of the best times of your life. They really are. Back to the video, though. Panzer Dragoon Orta. Sega and or Xbox should fund this and make it on the Xbox. The closest thing we've gotten to this is called Crimson Dragon. It's an Xbox One live arcade game. I think it's $15 or $20. Haven't bought it yet because I'd like to get it on sale. But it's basically a Panzer Dragoon spiritual successor in a weird way. It's not made by any of the same people. I think the music is the same person, but it's not the actual same people. But I'd love to see a Panzer Dragoon 4, which I guess this is technically kind of 4, but it's really number 3 as far as the shooter kind go. There was one RPG one. Oh, excuse me. Either that or Panzer Dragoon Saga 2. Either or, Microsoft, Sega, I would love either one. Another awesome franchise where its last exclusive was on the Xbox. Crazy Taxi 3. Sega, Microsoft, get on it. Another Sega game. Actually, the whole rest of this stack is Toe Jam and Earl 3. The last one of these was on the Xbox. There is another one coming out that's more of a 2D kind of game. Well, it's like the original one. It's a 3D plane, but 2D sprites and stuff. But Microsoft, nab it up right now. It's an indie title right now. Nab it up. These two actually go together. That is Otegi 1 and 2. Sega owns the rights to these, I would assume, but these are actually made by From Software before they were From Software. So I don't know, maybe they could have, Sega could have Platinum make them, they could have From Software make them, they could have them both make it. I don't know. Make a third one. These two as well go together. This was an exclusive. This is basically this game with the DLC, basically, is what is on this disc. This is the definitive version, but this is going to cost you a lot. This will cost you about 20-30 bucks. Sega, get on it. Where's Outrun 3? What are you waiting for? I honestly don't know. Like, this is almost as old as gaming itself. Where's Outrun 3? I don't get it. And two of these, well, this next one is not really a hidden gem or anything by any means. This is actually the rarer copy to get, and that is Jet Set Radio Future, the actual copy, not the combo disc where it's got Tetris, I think it is, with it. It's not Tetris. I think it's Star Wars. It's one of the Star Wars games. But so this is the rare copy to get. But Jet Set Radio Future, let's get a third sequel into that, or I guess part of the trilogy, whatever you'd call that. But I would love to see another one of these. I have the Dreamcast one. I actually don't have the case and manual. I only have the disc, unfortunately. But for the Xbox, I love this game. It's a beautiful game, and it still stacks up really well graphically to this day. So cell-shaded graphics have always stacked up really well. Wind Waker, Okami, Jet Set, they've always looked really amazing. Here's another like kind of obscure Xbox game, and that is Iron Phoenix by Sega. It's a weird hack and slashy sort of game. I haven't gotten too far into it yet, but it is an exclusive, so I don't know. Sega, you're trying to come relevant. Microsoft, you're trying to get exclusives. Partner up, dog. And then here was a few other, but well, not a few, actually kind of a lot of random other games that I picked out. Just going to knock through these real fast. One of my favorite exclusives too. There's probably about 10 favorite exclusives for the original Xbox. This is one. This was also on PC. That's why it doesn't say it at the top. Funny story. Hilarious. You can get this for like $5 on Steam, or you can find the disc for like $5 on eBay or in a store. It's Armed and Dangerous. Fantastic game. It's LucasArts. Oh, I miss LucasArts games. They were so funny, so good. But yeah, I don't know if Microsoft could somehow make a sequel or remaster this, but that would be great. If you've never played this, I cannot recommend this one enough. They have a shark gun. You shoot sharks through the ground. They come up and eat you. It's fantastic. I don't know how well it's going to come out, but like that little guy, he's hilarious. And like this night guy, it's probably one of the funniest gaming stories you'll ever play. So this was actually came out before Mass Effect. It's basically the same type of principle. They were going to make a trilogy out of it. They ran out of funding. About 3/4 of the way through this game, it starts to get super buggy and unplayable. I almost want to see someone like go in and redo this, because if you go back and watch trailers and previews and that kind of stuff for this, this seemed a lot cooler to me than Mass Effect. I was more excited for this than Mass Effect. It turned out to be a big piece of shit, but ideas like that, Microsoft could explore that. Here's another one, LucasArts, but another one that doesn't get a lot of love anymore, but it really should. You can get it on PC or the Xbox. LucasArts, Republic Commando. Love to see a sequel to this too. Fantastic game. So here's like a dumb idea that they could do for like an Xbox Live fighting game that's like online. Kabuki Warriors, exclusive. Just make this like upscaled to 1080p. Make it just like $5, $10 game and have a cool sword fighting game. If you don't know anything about this, Google it, watch some videos on it. It's the weirdest game you'll ever see, but it's pretty rewarding and fun to play. The graphics actually still look really good to this day. Kabuki Warriors. Kokojin. I think that's how you say this. Kokojin. I don't know, but it's a really good fighting game nonetheless. This is actually made by Microsoft, so they could very well make a sequel to this. These two go together. No. This one. Kingdom Under Fire. I have the third game for the 360, so that was a trilogy already. These were made by Fantagram and Fantagram again, and then probably Fantagram for the third one. I've never heard of that studio aside from these games, but that was a trilogy at one point. Why not make more? This is basically like a Dynasty Warrior type game, so if you're into that, they're good. Let's see. Here's a Namco game. That's Breakdown. So this is basically like a weird sci-fi type game. I haven't gotten that far into it either. Once I'm done finally collecting all these original Xbox games, I really want to just start diving into the ones that I really want to play, and then I'm going to figure out if I actually want to keep the collection or not. It'll be cool to get them all, but the sports games, I know I'm never going to play them. But it was fun tracking them down. Again, another game. This would come out of complete left field if Microsoft somehow pulled off getting Knights of the Old Republic 3. Probably never happened after that botch job that they did with Armada. Is it Armada? Or I think, yeah, Andromeda. That one. Apparently that's a terrible game. So I think BioWare is kicked down to the back burner right now, and they're not making any games right now. But had they not done that botch job, they could have been making Knights of the Old Republic 3. We're almost done here, guys. Sadecki. This is an RPG by Climax, but it was published by Microsoft. I actually really enjoyed this. I remember playing a demo of it when I was younger, getting really excited to play it because I was just bursting into the RPG genre at the time with Fable and Oblivion and that kind of stuff. Because this was kind of the cross period of where it was still current and then 7th generation at the time. But really cool game. Microsoft obviously owns it, so again, why not give it a shot again? Who knows? Pump up those graphics. Could be a good thing. Another From Software game. Murakumo Renegade Mech Pursuit. Really cool game. Very difficult to control and play, but once you get the hang of it, beautiful graphics. So there are a few games that support the flight stick. This is one of them. I still need to track one of those down. Another weird sort of car game. Maximum Chase. Haven't really got to play this yet. I got this with my Steel Battalion video. I don't know. I might link it at the end of this. That massive Steel Battalion unboxing I did. Awesome game though, by the way. I played this for about 5-10 minutes. The graphics are amazing, that's for sure. I think this was a pretty early title for the original Xbox, but definitely a good game nonetheless. I've watched reviews, and you know, a lot of people enjoy it. Group S Challenge. I played this with Nico a little while back. Pretty fun racing game. Looks good. Doesn't have a big selection of cars though, so that is one definite thing. But I mean, it was an exclusive, but it was made by Capcom. Again, a lot of these are like Capcom, Namco, Sega, and then Microsoft. So Microsoft, get some of those deals churning. You've got the money. This is a weird game that I kind of just threw it here for the fun of it. Special Forces Nemesis Strike. This was only exclusive on the Xbox in America, and the rest, Europe had it on PS2 exclusively, and then Japan, I don't think they actually got it at all. But really shitty game. I tried to get into it and play it because I thought it looked badass. Just from like the back of it, I was like, oh man, that game looks tight. I want to play it. And it's actually pretty terrible. So avoid that one if you can. And the last one, well actually there's a little bit more. Promise it won't go too much longer. Raz as Hell. I'm currently doing a review on this. It'll happen eventually, guys. It's just a matter of time, and I just don't really have a lot of time. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the review. The editing program always fucks up when I add gameplay in, so I just need to figure out a better means of doing it. But Raz as Hell, pretty good game. Stay tuned for the review for that. It's actually empty because it's still my Xbox. Alright, last little stack and then we're done. Another Sega title, I actually didn't pull this one, and that's Gun Valkyrie. Make it happen, Gun Valkyrie 2. This stack is totally going to tip over. Okay. Azuric. This was a launch title. I didn't even know about this game until about a year ago. It's exclusive, made by Microsoft. Make a sequel. Revitalize it somehow. These two. There's also a third one for the Xbox 360. I don't know if I have that one. I think I do, but I'm not sure. Amped. Cool games. This is more of a simulator type snowboarder. It's not like a SSX type. Still really good though. They're beautiful games even today, really. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. I didn't pull the other one out because I actually really enjoyed this one. The other one's okay. I think it's much as Odyssey, but I really enjoyed this a lot actually. Crimson Sea. I played this a little bit. I also got this by Steel Battalion in that massive unboxing. Threw it in as a gift. Yeah, so cool game. This is Koei. Exclusive though, so good game. From what I played, I do want to delve into it a little more. I don't know much about this one. I think this is some kind of mafia game. It's Chicago Enforcer by Chemco. I've never heard of them, so it must have not have done well, but looks like a fun game. Here's another BioWare title. Good example of... this has a thick manual in it. Look at that thing. That thing's heavy. Well, it's got the extra disc too. Jade Empire 2. Bring it on. Microsoft, make it happen, man. Make it happen. Supposedly there's rumors of this happening already, but you heard it here first. I want a Blinks 3. I enjoyed both these games. I remember getting hyped for these because it was cool to see platformers come to the original Xbox. And then they finally did with Voodoo Vince and Blinks. And that's pretty much it. Now, these aren't really exclusives, but I'd like to see Microsoft buy the rights to it because I can't really see a better platform for it to be on because all of my memories with this franchise, I have the sequel in here somewhere too. This has 5 parts to it. I think I actually own all of them on multiple different consoles actually and on the PC. But back in the day, Microsoft used to go out of their way to get developers' cuts of things where they had more content over the other ones. Yes, it's kind of shady, but at the same time, during that generation, the 6th generation, the original Xbox was the most powerful by a long shot. I would say it was probably a good 30% more powerful than the PS2. Maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark. But so they got the developer's cut, so I forget what all this comes with. Oh, actually comes with 30 more levels, so that's a pretty significant amount of stuff. I think it comes with a few more 21 exclusive car skins, 30 levels, Xbox exclusive high-octane crashes, and worldwide online leaderboards. Okay, so this must have been right around the time when Xbox Live was getting introduced. And then the sequel. This is my favorite racing game of all time. I played the crap out of this game. It's been played so much that there's a laser burn in the disc. Like, I love this game. Burnout Revenge I played a good bit too, but I always went back to 3 the most. And it was definitive on the Xbox. So that is why I think that they should bring back the formula to this one, because this didn't quite have as much as this did. Make a Burnout 4, like a true Burnout 4, and make it in the vein of this, and make it an exclusive. And those are some of the exclusives that I would truly love to see on the original Xbox. Let me know in the comments below if you've played any of these, or you know of any other exclusives that you'd like to see, and leave a like, and subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. Sorry that I'm sick. Peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you mother...